So today I have my guest. So you made that face.
Because talk to me. It says recording in progress. What?
No recording in progress. But today's guest is my best friend of how long we have been friends now? 14 plus years? Somewhere in that area.
Sixth grade, seventh grade, eighth grade, ninth grade, almost a decade.
Yeah, almost a decade.
Been more than a decade.
I don't know about you, but I'm still young. You're old. I'm still
You're
young.
you're
Anyway,
you're like older than me.
uh,
Oh,
anyway. But I have my guest with me is Mariah. She's all the way in Tennessee. I don't know why she left me, but she left me. But she's gonna be my guest, and we're gonna be talking about today's topic, which is about COVID-19 and how COVID affected us during this pandemic. And let's see, let's go ahead and get that started. So, when you heard the news about this new outbreak, how did you feel? What were your thoughts?
I didn't think that it was going to be as big as it was. I thought that it was just like, first of all, it called it coronavirus, and I'm thinking like a beer. Like, so is this like a new trend going on? And then I was like, people are dying, so this is not for play. Can you still hear me?
Yeah, I can still hear you.
I wasn't really scared, honestly. A lot of people were like shaking in their boots. I'm just like, it's just something else for the government to scare you with.
Right.
So I wasn't too worried about it. The only time I got worried because I did have a baby, um, when COVID first hit Tennessee, which is in April, and I was scared because the nurse that was handling my baby ended up having COVID, and my baby could have easily died.
Right.
So the only concern that I had. Other than that, I kind of thoroughly enjoyed it. Like the shutdown. Yeah, I
Right.
did.
Well, for me, during that time, I too much, figured because we have done went through all this types of pandemics before, like Ebola, for instance, and stuff like that. And I knew it was something to be concerned about because most of these stuff like it affects majority of elders at all times, and it affects younger children. And then yeah, me being a mom as well, it was something for me to be worried about because just like, well, I don't want my kids to catch this, and then
Right.
immune systems being so weak at such a young age and everything. So that was like my main concern. I have elders in my family, and I didn't want my grandma to catch that, or it was just a lot of worry. My granddad, how about my granddad has like this walk issue and stuff. They're
Ron,
easily.
we know how big Ron be doing.
Oh, exactly. Exactly. But it was those types of things that concerned me. And then, staying all the way across state in New Jersey, it was a big worry because I'm not there with my family. So
Yeah,
that was like my main issue and everything. And yeah, it worried me a lot during that time.
I was, my granny got it. And then when she told me she had it, I thought my whole world was crumbling down. Cause like when you hear, oh, people getting COVID, they don't usually make it outside of COVID. So
Right.
I'm like, my granny's 60 something years old, about to be 70. And when this started, she was like 64, 65, but she had ongoing medical issues that got affected by COVID. So it was like we didn't see her on Christmas, we didn't see her on New Year's. It was just like she didn't go to the hospital or nothing, but she had it bad. And that whole like 2 to 3 week period, it was scary for everybody. Like you know how we get about my granny, so it was just like. Mm. But even after she got better, I was still chilling. I was
Yeah,
like, she got it. She's over it. She made it. That's my angel. Like, that's all I was really worried about in my kids.
definitely for sure. All right. So most people think that COVID was going to be the end of the world. Did you feel the same way?
I felt like the end of the world was, mm, call me a conspiracy theorist, but the world is coming to an end with or without COVID.
Right.
Inflation is going, prices of houses, everything, the markets, like you really can't even live without having a job or having some type of money coming in. Like I said, I feel like it's just the government trying to control us, everything. Because you know how those little airplanes go in the air and you see the cloud of smoke and shit stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. I don't want to know what it is, but my mind is like, they're just putting chemicals in the ozone to make us more sick.
Yeah.
And I think that on this topic, if we don't want the world to end, it's time for us to start being more self sufficient instead of worried about toilet paper, going to the market, getting eggs, all this other little stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Our world to continue, we have to go back to the way that it was, not the way that it is now. Because if we keep going, it's only going to get worse and worse and worse and worse. And then we got kids, so we don't want to leave our kids with this big pile of
Miss. Right.
can we put this on pause real quick?
So my next question. What were some ways that you took to make sure your family was safe from getting the virus?
This is gonna be like a what? All I did was feed them gummies. That's really the only thing that changed. Like I didn't really do too much or nothing. They still went to pre-K. I mean, they still went to Head Start. Not Head Start. I'm dumb. They went to daycare. They were
Mhm.
still going there. We were still going out in public. We went to parks. We went everywhere. Like I wasn't letting the fear of other people stopping me from living my life.
Right.
We still had needs. I don't want to be bunched up in the house, three kids and a dude. And I'm just like, we can just go outside and go do something. And that method worked because none of us caught COVID. I've never had COVID. As many ways that I came through Tennessee, I have never caught COVID.
That's it. My mom, she had to told me about, give the kids gummies, give the kids gummies. And I'm like, her gummies gonna help my baby. So
But make them, I made my own personal like tailored to my kids gummies, and
yeah.
it worked. So, and I just started taking my vitamins, like the things that I knew that I was deficient in was like vitamin D, iron, um, calcium, all that other stuff. I
Mhm.
made sure I took care of my body and I ate better. But that's really the diet changes. I don't see that being a big change because I was gonna do that anyways after I had Arbriella. So it was just like everything fell into place for me.
It's
They
good.
didn't get they didn't have a runny they didn't have a runny nose the whole 2 years of lockdown down here. So
Really?
like I
Wow. See, the types of stuff that I've did, I had to go grocery shopping, of course.
yeah,
So yeah, doing the whole mask mandate is what they all asked us to do. I've done that, and then even when I go grocery shopping, I will wear gloves and stuff because I didn't want to touch nothing. So I would use the gloves, and it was like kind of weird because like if I'm shopping for fruit, I didn't want to touch fruit with my gloves. So it was like I didn't know how to do I take off my gloves? I was like, what do I do? I don't want to touch fruit with these nasty gloves if I don't touch the shopping cart. So I had hand
but
sanitizer on me.
fear, living in fear does something to your body. I don't remember what it was, but I was reading in a book. If you live in fear, it lowers probably your immunity. I have to look that up. But if you go, okay, let's say you picked up the fruit, do an extra step and go home and then clean it and then wash it off, then eat it. Like it's just, I don't know. I found the simplicity for sure. I'm a
All
really simple, but I'm complex, so it's like it's a good balance. It's a good balance.
right. Yeah. All right. So during the lockdown, what affected you most?
The prices of everything, the way that I had to. It's gonna sound really bad. I had to let my daughter sit in diapers a little longer because every time I would go to Kroger or Walmart, even Dollar General, because she had to have Huggies. That's the only brand that her body could take. And every time I would go, there would be either like the parent choice or love. So I had to literally like kind of do what I had to do to make sure that she had what she needed. And then the formula shortage came, and I was being selfish, but because my baby had to eat, I like selfishly, I didn't care if nobody else's baby ate but mine. So I had to go. I stacked up. I stocked up on formula. That and I guess really like when they had us doing a curfew for like a week because nobody was studying that, it kind of bothered a lot of people that we had to be in the house by 7.
Right.
And that had an impact on us because you know me. In the middle of the day, I'm not doing nothing. But at night, that's when I come out and that's when I decide to be more social and stuff. And we had to stay in the house. And people like the law got called on us because we was out at 8 o'clock. The neighbors complained. Everybody had a problem with us just being outside chilling on the front porch because of this mandate. I was like, I'm not letting this mandate control my life.
Right.
Like, y'all are scared of this virus. I'm not. And I have asthma. Like, I've had asthma my whole life. If the asthmatic is telling you not to worry about it, baby, don't worry about it. I've had pneumonia multiple times. I've had there was another one that I had. I had bronchitis. I had all of that. And if I wasn't worried about getting this COVID that automatically attacks your respiratory system, and I know everybody can't be like me, but like I just didn't see what the big hype was about. Like, if
Right.
anything, it made it worse. Like,
Yeah, honestly, I can agree. It did make things worse because during this time, I can't remember at what job I was working at, if I'm not mistaken. I think I was probably at FYE. I was working there. And then
that one, um Hastings, but y'all didn't have Hastings. It's called that. Yeah.
FYE, I love that store. But not sponsoring.
Man,
But
what?
I was working at FYE and it was a seasonal position, so my job didn't even last that long. And once the season ended, I literally got hired at this other job. It was a amusement park area. I don't know if you remember me telling you about this, but I got hired at this amusement park. And then literally the day of my interview, that's when the shutdown happened. So I wasn't able to go to the interview. And they sent me an email saying that, hey, we shut down, like, yeah, all of this COVID nonsense and everything. So hold on, say that again.
I said they were saying everybody got cootie, stay home.
Pretty much. But I wasn't able to get like none of the unemployment benefits with majority of
Oh,
people.
you what?
I didn't get none of that. So I had no income coming in. It was just literally just my bank account was sitting on zero the entire shutdown.
And I guess that's why it didn't really affect me because I did get unemployment.
Mm,
I got every and then I had 3 kids, so it's just like my stimulus was a lot bigger than a lot more people's.
right.
Um, so I guess that's kind of why I was chilling. But I know uh my brother, his wife or whatever, she was working. She worked the whole time of COVID.
Wow.
Like the job that she had, essential. She was an essential worker. So she worked all of COVID, all of the shutdown. She got COVID twice. Like her individuals got it once, and she was off for a week and a half because of COVID. And then when she went back, she got it again. I'm like, girl, couldn't have been me. She was bringing it home to both of them. I was just like, your job ain't worth your life because these folks gonna replace you. As soon as you pass away, they're gonna find your replacement the next day. So, like, girl, take your health into consideration.
Oh, all right. Next question. My bad for that. Next question. Let's see. What did you do to help make your time pass? Did you pick up any new hobbies?
Mm,
That smile says something different. What did you pick up?
I found myself.
You what?
I I found myself.
Oh, you found yourself.
I did a lot of shadow work. I did a lot of self-realization. I did not say that right. I have a speech impediment, so don't judge me.
Oh, you're fine.
But I did a lot of mental health working because being in a two-bedroom apartment with 4 or 5 people, I got mentally draining, and it got mentally draining fast. And I had to realize that, like, in that point of time, what if this was a lifetime thing? Nobody knew what tomorrow would have brought. So I did a lot of spirituality. I did a whole lot of deep diving into religion and doing the differences and working on myself. And like, I started school to be an esthetician maybe 9 months, maybe a year after COVID had hit, but COVID was still heavy down here. Like in school, we had to wear masks. We couldn't go to the bathroom at the same time. We couldn't be in the hallway at the same time. We couldn't do nothing like that.
Right.
So like it made me realize what I really wanted to do. And that's why I said at the beginning, it made me want to be more self-sufficient. Because yeah, I was living in an apartment, but I could be living in my own house and not having to worry about how my kids are going to eat, how my kids are going to get the hydration and the nutrients and shit that they need when I can just do it at home.
Right.
I rely on big pharma for medicine. I wouldn't have to rely on box markets, box stores to supply what my kids needed. And that is like, and I still do it to this day. I'm still researching. I'm still trying to find ways to make sure that like the zombie apocalypse happens, me and my babies are straight.
I don't know
So
about this.
if anything, what
I said I don't know what to say about it.
I,
Ooh.
I'm like, if worst comes to worst, I want to be prepared. And I think a lot
Right.
of people who work these 9 to 5, 12 hours a week type of situations, 12 hours a day type of situations, they're missing out on life. And I don't want to do that. I don't want to have to pay a $1,500 rent, not mortgage, a rent for an apartment that I don't even want to be in the next 10 years.
Exactly.
So like it made me start saving my money, start saving seeds, start realizing like nature's medicine. And I'm also went to school to be an herbalist. So like it's a good balance somewhere in this.
Yes.
Okay, I'm madness.
Yeah. When during my time of being locked in the house with two babies and a psychotic ex, let me stop. I picked up
Well, she's
gardening.
daughter here, but she's very active.
I picked up gardening during my time, and then as I'm a gamer as well, so I learned like I dipped
Mhm.
and dabbed into coding just a little bit. I was nervous. I was just like, I didn't want to do too much of that without me knowing what to do for sure. But my main focus was gardening, and I also picked up meditation, which is something I still do to this day. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. But
You know, like swimwear. She here and I'm here. Like we're on the same wavelength, man.
let's see, you a miss. Let me do this next question. Okay, let's see. If you could talk to your past self, what would you say? What would be some recommendations you would do to prepare yourself?
For COVID?
Yeah.
Am I allowed to cuss?
Let's keep it minimal.
I got one cuss word.
Okay.
Fuck it, we ball. I do not regret nothing that happened. I don't wish I were prepared more. I think everything happened the way that it should have happened. I don't have no regrets. I just, if anything, I wish I was in a better apartment. Other than
Right.
that, I don't have no regrets. If anything, I needed it to happen because the way that my mental health was going, it was not straight and narrow like it is now. Like everybody has their bad days, but I was having continuing bad days.
Right.
So like, man, you could get tired of your own shit sometimes. And that was when I took the initiative of like, you kind of tired of your own shit, Mariah. Like, fix it. Because can nobody fix it for you.
Right.
So it took me in the house dealing with two two toddlers at the same time, because twins, and then a newborn. Like it was so much stress going on, and I would not, even to this day, trade it for the world. I would do it all over again if I had to.
Right. Yeah, I can agree. I would say preferably during this pandemic or during the shutdown, I would have rather been near my family and everything instead of being so far away. It was much of a worry and everything. I was worried about everyone, and then I know for a fact, like, my family was worried about me and my two. So it would have been, if I could redo it, is I would tell my past self, like, go home, be with family.
Yeah,
Don't be up there.
you
Okay.
should never go and get worried about.
Exactly.
Just saying.
Anyway, not too much on me. Let's see. Since the pandemic, do you feel comfortable going back? Did you feel comfortable going back to your normal routine, or did things go different? Did your routine become different?
They pretty much say the same. The only thing is, looking for jobs was really hard, like extremely hard. They had um now hiring, apply now jobs, but with the what's that word, requirement of the COVID vaccine.
Right,
Baby, putting that in my body. I'm not putting some. First of all, let's start here. There's not a cure for cancer, right?
right.
Cancer's been around longer than COVID has, so they came up with a COVID vaccine in a matter of 6 months to a year. Oh, so you want me to be a zombie? I'm not doing it. Not for no job that like really care about my schedule, don't care about my mental health, don't care about if I have gas in my car, don't care about if I have food in my house. They don't care. So before I sit there and be like, I'm gonna get this shot for this job, I'll be jobless and I'll figure it out like I've been doing. Now it's just not I don't want to be like this. But if a job requires a COVID vaccine, I'm not even going to apply. I'm
Right,
not giving up myself journey and what I believe in for somebody who has completely different views of me or my religion or my stature or my status in society for a job that you're gonna be making more money off of me.
exactly.
I get the bottom dollar, baby. You get the top dollar. Why would I want to work for you where I can work for myself? Oh,
Right.
mm, can't relate.
Ugh. And see, how it affected me. I still tend to do the 6 feet rule when I'm out in public. If I'm going shopping and I'm checking out, I don't want no one to be all up on me in line. Like, if you don't mind, please give me my 6 feet. If I'm not on this person in front of me, don't, if you're behind me, please don't be up on me. Just give me space. It's something that has just mentally scarred me for real. And then, you know, don't no one believe in, just having a normal cold or sinuses problem. As soon as they hear you cough, I feel as if everyone is just like, oh, she got COVID. And it's like,
Girl,
it's embarrassing. It's like, I don't even want to cough in public no more. It's just,
oh,
it's like that.
I was the asshole who went to Walmart with no face mask. I was the asshole who coughed in public. I was the asshole who sneezed in public, and I do it in my arm or whatever.
Hmm.
But that's why I'm getting it. Like I'm not finna let that dictate what I want to do. Like I'm not gonna hold my cough in for nobody. Like if I gotta go pee or whatever, I think that is the same thing. I'm not holding it in for nobody
Right.
because personally, coughing sucks. With me
Right.
having asthma, me a minute to get my breath back sometimes. So to before I sit there and like hold it in and make myself choke, baby, it's coming out. And I don't know how you're gonna feel about it, but I really don't care because take that up with you and yourself. Like
Right.
now, the only time I really did wear a mask is when I was at the doctor, only because we were there for a reason. Now, I don't know if you sick, if you got COVID, whatever. I just want to take it back to my babies. That's the
Right.
only thing. That's the only reason why I asked was because I didn't want to take it back to my babies. I still had spray sanitizer and I made this homemade disinfectant spray. I was sprayed on myself before I went home. But other than that, right, was let go, let God type situation. I'm not gonna let nothing like that control me. I'm sorry.
Girl, I feel you. But you know, public can be so nasty. And it's like, you know,
Yeah.
me working in
Maybe
retail. Huh?
maybe I'm just a menace.
That's probably
Maybe
so. I don't like no drama. I just come here, like, you know, I work in merchandising. So it's just like I just come here to do my job. I don't want no problems. Leave me alone. Let me do my stuff so I can go home. So
yeah,
if you hear me coughing, please don't mind me. Just keep on walking.
yeah. Bro, I ain't got cooties, bro. I ain't got cooties, I promise. I need some water. That's it. Like, chill.
That's all I need. Just you want to say you worry about me having COVID? No, give me some water if you don't mind.
Hey, something to quench my thirst. Like you over here,
Like,
precaution.
got me coughing now.
Like all I need is some water. Can you help me out with that?
No, is what they're gonna tell you. No.
Every time, nah, you got it. You got covered. Cause
Uh,
I come.
I, anyway, that's all my questions that I have for you.
I like these questions. You should ask me more. I like I like giving biased opinion.
I appreciate everything, all of it. I love your answers. You're really well spoken, which I do that.
I'm out.
Not gonna hold nothing back. Well, tell the camera bye. This is my guest. Eh, I gotta cut that part. This is my guest. Thank you. Thank you, Brian, for taking your time to do this for me.
I'm hot. It's hot in this car. I'm over here.
Thank you. Bye bye.